There was no need to be ashamed of tears, for tears bore witness that a man had the greatest of courage, the courage to suffer when I need myself, failing with rage over the loss of a beloved. I try as soon as possible to remember that my concerns and questions should be focused on what I learned or what I have yet to learn from my departed love, what legacy was left which can help me in the art of living a good life. Why there is nothing more sublime than tears. The tears dissolve the last block of ice in my throat. I feel the frozen stillness melt down through the inside of me, dripping shards of ice that vanish in a puddle of sunlight on the stand floor. Words float up. The tears of the world are a constant quantity for each one who begins to weep somewhere else. Another stops. The same is true of the laugh. Let us not then speak ill of our generation. It is not any unhappier than its predecessors. Let us not speak well for it either. Let us not speak of it at all. It is true the population has increased. He chuckled at the memory, and then, in the instant, tears were burning in his eyes and rolling down his cheeks. That was always the way of grief, laughter and tears, joy and sorrow. He had been wont to despise emotions. Girls were weak emotions, tears were weakness. But this morning he was thinking that being a great brain in a tower, nothing but brain would not be much fun. A time for every occupation under heaven, a time for giving birth, a time for dying, a time for planting, a time for uprooting what has been planted, a time for tears, a time for laughter, a time for mourning, a time for dancing, a time for searching, a time for losing, a time for loving, a time for hating. The tears were hot in a Salva eyes were had everyone gone. Why had they left without waking him? He knew the answer because he was a child who might tire easily and slow them down and complain about being hungry and cause trouble. Somehow, many children are the tears I have wept and threaded many a maze of weary thought I once beheld on earth, celestial graces and heavenly beauties scarce to mortals, none whose memory yields nor joy nor grief alone, but all things else in cloud and dreams effaces. I saw how tears had left their weary traces within those eyes that once the sun outshone. I heard those lips in low and plaintive moan breathe words twisted the mountains from their places. Love, wisdom, courage, tenderness, and truth made in their mourning strains more high and dear than ever wove soft sounds far mortal ear, and heaven seemed listening in such saddest ruth. The very leaves upon the bough to soothe such sweetness filled the blissful atmosphere.